What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. I know you guys could probably already tell it is going down. Just by that title alone, definitely going to see this one, guys. We got Fox News The 5 host Harold Ford Jr. back at it again, guys. He's battling it out head to head against Jessica Tarlov, trying to see who's been most affected by that Trump derangement syndrome, that TDS. And I will say he is making a very strong case in this newest segment, guys. I'm excited to get into it. So we're not straight into it. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Before we even get into it, you guys, hit that like button, also hit that subscribe button for your boy. Without further ado, let's get straight into it, y'all. Check this one out.
Some of you guys are tempted to think it's macho guy. I'll tell you what, man. When I was in Scranton, we used to have a little trouble going down the plot once in a while. For green reasons. But I'm serious. These are the kind of guys you like to smack in.
Yeah. Boy, you know, it's getting more and more pathetic every day, Jesse. Usually when you smack somebody in the ass, it's a player it's a teammate who makes a great play, scores a winning goal. Is he senile, stupid, or both?
I sometimes smack you in the ass after a great show, Greg.
That is true.
Your Friday exclamation point.
That a boy. HR knows about this.
Keep it up. You said you liked it. So Biden, in just 24 hours in the last week, said he's going to lock up Trump and smack his garbage supporters in the ass. And then he's like, and then pass the baby feet. I mean, this guy's out of his mind. They've confiscated his phone. They've confiscated his laptop, but he keeps escaping the White House and giving speeches. I don't know what's going to happen because he's now at a point where he doesn't give a you-know-what. Mm-hmm. And so he doesn't even care about his presidential library. He's supposed to invite people to come over and spend the night in the Lincoln bedroom, but he's like, I just don't really feel like it. But it's like $300 million to do a library like that. And he's calling donors, and the donor's like, let's just wait until after the election before I open my wallet. Because why would you give money to Joe Biden at this point? It's just a waste. He's very old, and his legacy is really bad. Kamala, if she loses, that lunch that she has weekly is going to be great. Mm-hmm. She's probably just going to want to drown him in a soup because she got to hate this guy. He's responsible for probably 3 or 4 of the worst news cycles she's had. I just can't wait to see the letter that he has to leave Trump in that desk if she loses. It's probably going to be something like, Dear Garbage, you beat 2 women, but you didn't beat me, Jack. Sincerely, the big guy.
Yeah, see you in the alley.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
Oh my goodness, guys. There's no coincidence what Joe Biden is doing. You know what I mean? He is intentionally coming out. I feel like he's tarnishing Kamala Harris' campaign. Like Jesse says, he's the reason why there's been 2 or 3 news cycles he's literally lost for her campaign, guys. There is no coincidence. Excuse me. This is Joe's way of getting back at Kamala Harris and Nancy for kicking him to the curb. I promise it is.
Judge, it is incredible how little the media and most people care about the current state of the presidency. I mean, they're acting like this election on Tuesday is the biggest thing ever, while ignoring the fact we haven't had a president for how long?
I think about a year and a half.
Yeah.
But, you know, what's amazing is they only sideline Joe when they think that he's going to harm them politically. Mm-hmm. But when he comes out and says stuff that is, you know, that we criticized him about, they said, you know, it's a cheap fake, it's disinformation, it's misinformation. But when it hurts them, then, of course, they're going to sideline him. But, you know, besides locking up Trump, the thing that I think is most outrageous, he wants to take him behind the high school, the gym, and beat him up. But when he said he'd like to put him in the bullseye, and I think it was 4 days later, Trump was shot in the head. I mean, the Democrats get away with anything. And in the end, I think that all you have to do is just look at him saying that, smack him in the ass. He just looks so mean, so angry, and the man should not be running the country. And the fact that they've hidden him is really a sad commentary on what they're going to do in the next administration.
Isn't that
Judge Janine hitting on some very valid points. You know, hey, Joe Biden and the joyful campaign that's supposed to be over there on the left doesn't seem joyful to me, guys. It seems like they're upset, they're angry at the success that Donald Trump is having. You know, he's bringing in widespread support, you know, from demographics that folks never thought would be supporting Donald Trump. And you can see just the hatred, the anger. They're bitter because Donald Trump is succeeding at something they can't, guys. I'm telling you right now.
The big revelation, Harold, that we've learned that maybe America doesn't need a president. We haven't had one. Maybe it's just run by a big dark machine, right? The deep state, Harold, that you are a part of. Why don't you just come out and admit it?
I differ with you guys on this one. I think we need a president. I think the country, one of the reasons Democrats believed that it was the right thing to do to move on to Vice President Harris and President Biden agreed. I think his legacy will be big. I think, Jesse, because of that, you've never had a president give up the presidency in the first term.
He didn't give anything up, guys. I'm telling you, he had it in his hand. They ripped it, snatched it out of his hands, guys. He did not voluntarily just step aside. Say that right now.
Because of that, you've never had a president give up the presidency in the first term like this. You did have.
He
didn't give it up willingly.
Right.
You had LBJ and you had Truman, but at the same time, you've not seen something quite like this. And Judge, I would remind everybody around the table, there were moments, I think, rightly so. I think some people around the table and other places called it elder abuse to even have him in this job for this period of time, and he should not seek re-election. And I think, Greg, in fairness to you, saying that you think that he should have been removed before the election, I don't necessarily think that is the case, but Democrats moved on from him. Now, one of the things I think is interesting is if you look at some of the late polling here, it appears that some of those late deciders in the battleground states are deciding a little bit more for Kamala than for President Trump. This is just the exit polling.
Oh, my goodness. Here we go with the polls. Guys, I feel like this is Jessica Tarloff 2.0 with these fake stats. I mean, come on. We're seeing all across the nation. There is an entirely different tune being sung across America. You know, you get live firsthand polls, accounts from people on the streets. And I'm going to say we're hearing something totally different. We've seen that just from my video yesterday. I'll tell you right now, they're not saying that it's Kamala all the way. Like, come on, hero. Admit it.
It appears that some of those late deciders in the battleground states are deciding a little bit more for Kamala than for President Trump. This is just the exit polling. People could be misrepresenting or just lying. But one of the things they're saying is that they're ready to move on too from President Trump. That just the language and the narrative and the negativity, they just don't want that over the next 4 years. But we've got 2 days, 2 or 3 days here, or 2 days before the polls close, and probably take another week to count them all across the country. And I'm going to be as interested in the gender gap and other things that Dana talked about. But President Biden will have a good legacy from whether win or lose. I think the country, Democrats certainly will appreciate his 4 years and what he did to make way for another generation of leadership.
I don't know what he's talking about, but guys, I'm telling you right now, he's saying that folks are saying they want to move forward and move away from Donald Trump. Guys, we were living great. Our nation was thriving underneath Donald Trump's presidency, his administration. It does not make sense. Even Tim Walz is saying we can't afford 4 more years of this. I mean, come on, guys. Even Tim Walz's family came out, endorsed, and voted for Donald Trump. All of his extended family. I mean, that says something.
His 4 years and what he did to make way for another generation of leadership.
I lost interest in the last minute of what you said.
I did too.
I'm glad it's not just me.
That's because it's Sunday.
That was the best ever. I could tell you were like, you were talking, you're going like, wait, how am I going to get out of this sentence?
How do I land this?
How do I land this plane?
I want the Lions to win. I'm checking scores.
Oh my goodness.
So Dana, it's kind of interesting, just like how I've never been in a situation. I've heard of a lame duck, but this is like weird to me. Is this like, and it does, I keep going, we kind of just are okay with it?
I mean, we have to hope for the best because this is the thing that we have.
But
and
if you were a foreign country, like, say, Canada.
Well, let me just tell you what happened earlier today, because you might not have seen it because you were checking the Lions score. Iran has put out an announcement that they're going full force against, they're going to have all these weapons headed towards Israel. And so, like, all of those problems are still very real. I don't think that Joe Biden saying that in Scranton will hurt him or her necessarily, because all the damage has already been done with him. That's like written into the cake. And in a way, it's a little endearing to see him sort of relieved. It's like he's not trying to like really sell it.
I don't feel like all the damage has been done with Joe Biden, though. Dana has to realize, folks kind of forget, Joe Biden does little things. He comes out, during the hurricane relief and goes directly against Kamala Harris. People forget about that. But then it kind of reminds folks of, he's like her nightmare in the closet. He comes out every once in a while, reminds the nation like, hey, she covered up for me for so long, didn't tell you guys one word. Every time he pops back or moseys out of there and he makes a fool of himself, he also reminds people that she covered up and said he was all right. So I feel like the damage hasn't all the way fully been done yet.
Or her necessarily, because all the damage has already been done with him. That's like written into the cake. And in a way, it's a little endearing to see him sort of relieved. It's like he's not trying to like really sell it anymore. He's just back to being his old ways, like when he was in the Senate. And he was kind of like, it was like, oh, that's Joe Biden. He's harmless. And then, wow, he's president. You're like, whoa. And Biden and Harris are having this problem. But his garbage comment did have an effect. And Dave McCormick, the Republican candidate in Pennsylvania, who's in a tied race with Bob Casey, the incumbent there for Senate, they had a big billboard in Scranton yesterday to welcome Joe Biden to this event yesterday. So people have been able to pounce on the Biden comments in order to help their campaigns a little bit, just to remind people that Harris said she wouldn't do anything different. So, and 70% of the country wants something different.
That too.
So true, Dana.
Thank you.
So true.
Did you lose interest in my last
Yeah,
minute?
I was thinking about food.
What you gonna have tonight?
I think some like smashed baked potatoes, when they smash
I
them.
love when they smash.
What do you put on it?
A little paprika, some salt and pepper.
Right.
Once you smash it, do you bake it? What do you do?
Yeah, you bake it and smash
bake it and
Yeah,
smash it.
I'm lying. Somebody's going to do it for me.
Yo, there we have it, guys. I'm not sure what it's going to take for folks like Harold Ford Jr. to just wake up to reality, guys. They're living in a whole different world. He's out there in La La Land where he's saying folks are moving away, turning their backs on Donald Trump and turning towards Kamala Harris's campaign. I just don't see it, guys. I don't care what poll this guy wants to quote. What stat he's seeing, guys. Show me that firsthand on the street. I want to see folks actually seeing it because I'm just not seeing it and I'm not seeing the support. I mean, honestly, guys, it just feels like we're watching all these pollsters, bunch of different polls saying different results, but we're all watching the same exact game. It just has me so lost as to where they're getting their numbers from. When I actually see real people speaking up and saying we're doing firsthand interviews on the streets, that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable to believe the results. I hope we all know by now not to put our faith in these polls because they could be manipulated and twisted to portray whatever picture narrative these pollsters want to put out there, guys. But we have to do our part. Get out there, cast your votes, guys. November 5th, we all have to show up to the polls, man. Do your part, guys. No matter if you don't think your every single vote matters, I promise, guys, do your part. Yo, but definitely make sure you guys hop in that comment section and let me know your thoughts. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you did enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one.